Gentlemen, welcome back to proof that there is a dog and she is Maleficent. The never-ending bumblefuckery, what is modern day crummies. Never fails, lad, but you go to use your pick-em-up truck and there she is. Gone. Undiagnosed non-start condition. Luckily for us, they've had the prescience of circling the problem. Old Mr. Ford. The thing is about troubleshooting, you gotta do the easiest thing first. This is a proper pick-em-up truck, mind. It doesn't have the automatic transmission. It's got a proper manual transmission. That is, you gotta select the gear yourself. Imagine that. Bit of gatekeeping there, but yeah, needs must want. We get rid of the, I also have built in here, because I've been around so long, I got built in the master key for all old pickup trucks. 3, 2, 1, contact. Not even a clack. Very likely the battery is either dead or the connections are disconnected or loose. But because this is a manual transmission, we can bump start it. It's right in the oval. That F-O-R-D stands for fucker only runs downhill. That's not a fault, it's a feature. So we're going to put it into second gear and pop the clutch. This here pedal's the clutch. You depress it, it'll be in what's called Georgia overdrive. That is neutral, and it'll just roll wherever gravity takes it. Come on, Betsy. No, you ain't going to roll. Froze cock stiff right to the ground. Stage 2, next easiest thing. No, not that one. Oh, this one. There we go. We pop the hood and we determined where the battery is located. This here's the hood. You got to fiddle fuck around with this for about 15 minutes while a bunch of looky-loos stand around laughing at you. There we go. Is that the one? Might be a two-handed operation. Something like Dew Claws last Saturday night. Reasonably new battery as indicated. Oh, there we go. You see that? That should not be moving about like that. So we got to get our handy dandy Knipex pliers, tighten that up. And we check to make sure that the battery isn't bulging. Dead batteries will freeze. Fully charged batteries will not freeze, but dead batteries will. And of course, as water freezes, it expands and ruins all the plates and stuff. So you got to look to make sure that there's nothing cracked or the battery's not bulging before you get any deeper. Standard tightening procedures apply. Just tighten it up till you hear the crack, back a quarter turn. Now the world is a scary place, I know, full of uncertainty. The only thing that helps it is to be prepared. Panic doesn't help. So, let me show you a little trick here. If you get yourself a pick-em-up truck, you're forever going in the bed and trying to climb over the sides and stuff to get at the stuff accumulated there. Just get yourself one of these little waste boards, put some Sizol rope in there, and then you can pull this back. Let me show you. Huh? Stupid like a fox. Yeah, fishy. Pay no never mind that this being brand new. What I was saying, to paraphrase a modern-day troubadour, is you got to keep an edge on your knife against the cold, vague uncertainties of life. First aid kit, you got about 18 million gigajoules worth of chemical energy sitting in one of these, every single one of these vehicles in the fuel tank. You best get yourself one of these guys. You would not believe how many people travel around without a fire extinguisher. Bloody ridiculous. Tow strap, also brand new. Reasons. We've got the donor vehicle in place. We're going to transplant some angry pixies from one to other. You got to make sure that they're not rejected. That means you need the polarity correct, and we'll go over that. But of safety here, you want to make sure that you're in park, that your wheels are turned, that you have your park brake on, even if it doesn't work, insurance reasons, and you never stand or step through this bite. Doesn't matter if you never know when the ground is going to fail or if it's mucky or whatever. You never stand in this bite here, because if either one of these vehicles lurches or whatever, you're just a bag of meat and it's going to go. Stupider shit has happened. Normally the donor vehicle would be running, but this is a little contrived in that I'm making a video, so it's not running, just so you can hear me talk. Now, this one battery has been charging, and this is a chemical process, which means there's going to be hydrogen and oxygen around here during charging. That's very explosive gas mixture. These batteries do blow up on a regular occurrence. Every mine site, every industrial site you go to just about will have one of these on a wall of shame, blowed right the ass end out of her. So be careful. If in the vehicles are anywhere the same age and the same type, the battery's going to be 12 volts. If you get into heavy duty, it might be 24 volts like trucks and so forth. And if you get into real old, it might be 6 volts with a positive ground. All of these modern vehicles have negative ground, so we don't need that. That just means that the chassis, like this bolt, is negative. So what we're going to do is we are going to connect to the positive, and then we're going to connect to a nice shiny chassis ground. We could also connect to the negative battery post, but we want to minimize the chance of sparkage. And you got to make sure tether end isn't touching nothing. That's on there good. Take off the negative. There will be no sparks because there's no circuit yet. That's on there. Half-ass. And we find the positive on this battery. That's this guy, as indicated by the positive mark. And we connect up the positive. Now you want to make sure that this positive lead does not touch anything on the case, on the chassis ground. Now we got to find a chassis ground. On these older vehicles, it's quite easy to find a chassis ground, any kind of big metal looking part. It's not strictly required. You could go right to here. However, when you disconnect, you're going to get a spark. If this battery is charging, you get a spark and you get the wrong ignition sequence, you're going to get a blow up. 99.9% of the time, you're going to be just fine. But it does happen. So I'm doing it the safest way I know. Make sure that doesn't fall off and go into a belt. And now we just let her chooch. Now for bonus nachos, extra style points, you go and do yourself an idiot check. An idiot check just comprises anything that's going to kill you. You get rid of. And also, these old girls, they leak until they don't. So every once in a while, you want to give a lick of this dipstick. Make sure she's still wetted up. And if not, just add a little into the casement there. Help an old girl out. Also, you look like such a pro. I like to come in the donor vehicle. Not that way, you sick fucks. Stay warm and make it look like you're doing something by just depressing the accelerator throttle, revving up the engine a little bit. That'll increase the chooch factor. Now, many a fella been caught out this way, gets in a big panic. And in this guy, this is not an automatic transmission, but there's some interlocks there to make sure that if you're at the mall and you crank the starter, it doesn't lurch forward if it's in gear. So there's interlocks that prevent the starter from engaging if sometimes, well, the clutch has to be fully depressed, so there'll be an electrical switch on there. Sometimes it's even got to be in neutral. Sometimes the brakes got to be on, depending on the piece of equipment. All kind of things like that. Also, in a automatic transmission, it has to be either in neutral or park to start. If you try and start it in gear, say you shut her down, you're in a big fucking panic to get before they run out of toilet paper, and you come back and the thing won't start. Just make sure that the gear shift. Okay, here's red hot fart in your eye. Key on tact. Oh no, she might be dead. Oh, come on. Come on, you fucking piece of shit. Liberal application of cussing does wonders for mechanical contrivances. Fuck. tune in next time for real world bumblefuckery. It never goes according to plan. We might have a wonky connection here. We'll just make sure we're getting sparkage. No sparkage. So we lost connection probably on the chassis negative ground over on the donor truck. Should get some little sparks here. There we go. Oh, now she's chooching. You hear the radio turned on and everything. Indicator lights, also known as idiot lights. All right, you fucking piece of shit. I don't like you, and you don't like me. With good reason. Oh, come on. Why you no go? There we go. Oh, come on. Rear anti-lock. I'm pretty sure this thing predates safety. How could it have anti-lock? I don't fucking know. Hit that. Come on, Schwartz. Oh, so close. So that little clacking you heard is a good sign. We're progressing up the troubleshooting level. Now, we didn't have any clacks at the first. Now we're getting the pinion, the bendix of the starter clacking in and out. Or that might even be the solenoid of the starter kicking in and out. That's what that rapid clacking was. So we're getting juice. That's a good sign. It ain't the movies. I'll tell you that. It never goes according to plan. Let's just spill some out for our dead homies here. Well, I'll let that alternator chooch in some angry pixies into that other battery. And then we'll have a fresh start. Oh, buzzer getting stronger. You don't like me, and I don't like me either. Let's turn that off. As many ancillary things as we can. Key or intact. Oh, fuck. Must be some sort of interlock happening here. Maybe. Gotta cram this. Like you're leg pressing 500 pounds. You gotta cram that clutch right to the ground. Come on, Schwartz. See if we can't let the smoke out of those jumper cables. She ain't gonna go. Need some more chooch. That battery might be completely pooched. Might need to change it, but we're getting progress. They're all broke down by the side of the road. Don't matter creed or color or whatever, but don't make me go firmer on your ass. Key or intact. Oh, you fucking piece of shit. The goddamn interlock. You know, workout. Hey! Woo! Easy as that, boys. I'll shut her down there once we get it running, and we'll do a bump start. But I want to tell you, some brainiac in an automatic transmission, you'll be around scratching your nuts, and somebody will say, you know what, I've heard if you get it up to 50 miles an hour, you can bump start an automatic. And that is just not true, because the clutch packs in an automatic transmission are hydraulic, and a hydraulic pump is on the input side. So by running it at 50 kilometers an hour, 50 miles an hour, or whatever, what have you, you're still just running the prop shaft out the rear in neutral. You're not getting any flow out of the pump to lock up those clutch plates, so there is no way an automatic transmission can start by bumping it. It just ain't gonna happen, so don't try it. I've been through it a number of times, and just to prove that you can't do it, I let the guy do it, and it never ever works. Again, here's the secret to not blowing your face off. Break the connection away from the battery, because this is where you're gonna get sparks. Easy as that. Still got my face. Woo! She is a gassy lassie. Breathe deep, boys. It's the smell of climate change. So, dare I dare. We're gonna shut her down. I'm gonna show you how to bump start it. Now, you might see that we're going uphill, so if and we were going downhill, we'd put her in something like second. In this case, we only have one chance. We're going to put her in reverse. Ignition on. And then we're going to, with the clutch depressed, we're going to ease off the brake. We're going to make sure we're not going to kill anybody behind us. We're going to roll backwards, let the clutch out reasonably quickly. And then once the engine has started, we depress the clutch to go back into neutral, hit the brakes, and Bob's your auntie. Here we go. Easy as that. That's a reverse action bump start. So thanks for watching. Don't blow your face off. There ain't nothing to it, but you know, just be careful. Keep your dick in a vice.